to United View. Good morning. Welcome to your Morning View show. We have got a lot to talk about. Takeover settings. Apologies for being a little bit late, but there were some flex sources going on. I had to speak. I had to speak to some people. I'm not going to lie to you lot. I'm not just going to blame this on KG because this is bigger than that. No disrespect to KG because usually it is always him. But I'm just going to come clean. I was making some messages and exchanging messages in light of what's been happening at Manchester United, supposedly.
I'm going to come clean. As well. It's KG's fault. I'll come clean. It's KG's fault. I mean, it's not always nice to throw a friend under the bus, but sometimes you've got to do it, especially when it is his fault. So
that's true. That is true. Well, do you know what? Actually, you know what? Owen's right. There are because I have those conversations, but I had those conversations about an hour ago. This now is KG 100%. But listen, you know where we've got to start. Qatari United bid incoming, ? Qatari takeover, ? Qatari interest in Manchester United from the royal family, ? We're going to talk about all of those things. United's summer transfer dilemma. Eric Ten Hag's definitely got one of them. Martial injury update. He's definitely got an injury. And it's match day as well, but there's no place else to start, Owen, to be fair. You lot smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. We've got a lot to talk about. I've got a lot to say as well, and so has Owen. Owen, what on earth is going on? Is there interest from Qatar?
Yes, end of the show. No, there's a lot to get. There's a lot to get into this morning, so bear with me here because there are lots of different parts of this story. So this comes from the Daily Mail, and pretty much every single person you can think of that covers sport from the Daily Mail, particularly Manchester United, have sort of come together for this report. So it's been reported late last night by the Daily Mail that Qatari investors are planning and what they're calling incredible mega money sweep for Manchester United, and they want to give manager Eric Ten Hag the financial backing to lead the club back to the top. Now, sources have disclosed a group of private high-wealth individuals based in Qatar, buoyed by the country's hosting of the World Cup, and they've set their sights on Manchester United, who they view as one of football's crown jewels. The Qatari investors are confident their bid will blow the competition out of the water. It continues saying that the bid for Manchester United would come from separate individual Qatari investors. There is no interest in taking a partial stake, with only a full-blown takeover being discussed by said investors. Now, according to insiders on this Qatari investment on Manchester United, once again coming from the Daily Mail, quote, there are significant funds available. These people are serious. They want to make sure that United are where they should be, and they are confident theirs will be the strongest bid. All goes into a little bit more details. The Emir of Qatar, who is the head of its absolute monarchy, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, is a committed United fan who is well aware of the club's history. The Qataris, according to the Daily Mail, are keen for the process to reach a quick conclusion. This bid, by all accounts, will come in the coming days. However, I think just a pinch of salt on that one because all of the bids are set to come in the coming days or weeks. And we heard about this February deadline when it comes to all of these takeover proposals. A cost of $8 billion for Manchester United and redeveloping Old Trafford, building a new state-of-the-art facility, training facilities and all that kind of stuff is being described as not a problem for the Qatari group. Again, the Al Thani family, just to give a bit of a context, they are worth $335 billion. Just to give a little bit. Let me repeat that. The Emir of the Al Thani family, who is reportedly a United fan, who are planning on bidding, are worth $335 billion with a B. And as I mentioned, this interest is reportedly concrete. It's also saying as well from these insiders about this offer of United, quotes, they want to strengthen the squad and to put them back at the top, but they also want this to be good for the community, which is interesting as well. That's all of the information I have. Flex, I know that you have a little bit more as well. What have you got for us this morning?
Wow, just even that is like, it's just insane. It's just insane what's happened sort of back end of last night into this morning. For me, I mean, look, I'm going to be honest. I'm not, the whole in the know thing and lying about things, never my style. All I will ever do to you guys is share with you some of the conversations that I've been having. And I won't say the exact name of the person or people. But yes, when I was in Qatar, in all honesty, I know KG jokes about it and he was like, well, you was with your family, wasn't you? I was with some people from the royal family throughout that trip in Qatar. And, there were really, really good people that we was with and had a lot of conversations. And in light of that, obviously been keeping in touch. And obviously in light of what's happened, I asked a few questions to some people that I know. Take that as you will as to exactly who the source is, etc., etc. I'm not going to confirm that, but I will share with you. And this will definitely happen. That will definitely happen. This is just me sharing with you the information that I was told this morning from people over there. And that is to clarify that the interest is real. What that first and foremost, 100% the royal family out there are interested. Secondly, the Emir of the royal family and members of the royal family are massive Manchester United fans. Because my thing was, we hear that. So Jim Ratcliffe's obviously a Man United fan. I get that, but is that just been thrown into the hat to appease Manchester United fans, and the UK press sort of make up that a member or members of the royal family who are interested in buying Manchester United are Man United fans? Just throw that in there, and it was confirmed to me that they are. But also, what was quite interesting is the timing of this sale. Now, this is what was said to me. I said, is this still on track for sort of the first, what was it, the first quarter of the year or first 30 year, whatever it was?
By sort of April-ish.
And they said to me, no, this would be more of a summer plan because of the way that the Glazers would want a quick transfer of money. This would be more of a summer plan. Now, is that a good or is that a bad thing? I mean, obviously, the earlier it happened would be better for us. I'm not going to sit on here again and wax lyrical about things that are above my grade in terms of if it was the summer that, that's going to ruin everything and that can't happen. Or if it's going to be the summer, that's going to be absolutely fine. I don't know. I'm only giving you the information that I was told today. And I wanted to confirm about that sort of 330 odd billion. I basically said, is that true? And would we be richer than Taboli? The simple answer I got to that was yes and yes. But also they are exploring as well. I'm just again looking verbatim. Due to many teams being for sale, such as Liverpool, Spurs, and now Man United. So it's important to remember with this actually that although the UK press have gone super heavy on this, although the UK press have gone super big on this in terms of them wanting to gazump anybody for a Man United sale and blow them out of the water, again, there are tactics. There are other clubs for sale. And, this is the beginning situation of the Qataris or people from there wanting to buy a Premier League football club. Obviously, Manchester United making the loudest noises as of now. And I can confirm, yes, that is true. I'm just going through this to make sure I haven't missed anything. Looking like summer, much safer option. And yeah, I think that's about it. So I'll keep you guys involved if anything else. But to recap on that, basically, what I'm hearing from people in Qatar, people close to that situation. I'm not going to name names, but Manchester United, the interest is there from the royal family. The royal family and or others are Manchester United fans. The 330 odd billion is true. They are worth that plus more. And the key thing here, the fourth thing, is that this is more looking like a summer move, which is very interesting, actually, because we have been kind of privy to a lot of reports here in the UK that it's going to be more concluded by April. And that wouldn't be the case. Oh, sorry, I forgot one of the biggest ones. The price, actually, the 6 million price. That was the one. That was, so if I just go back to here, the price seems to be a bit of a sticking point. They're looking at more around 5 billion and a little bit less, as opposed to that 6 billion. So that was another sticking point as well. They wasn't really happy on that 6 billion. Basically, what can you do on that price, big man? Can you come down a little bit? I mean, obviously it's not that they don't have it, but yeah, the 6 billion price tag was being, out by $1 billion or so. I mean, not going to be huge amounts to them.
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting with this is, I think, first of all, we shouldn't get too carried away in the sense of this had always been reported this was going to happen. As we got closer to this sort of bidding deadline, we were going to get more people named, right? So Jim Ratcliffe, Ineos was the first person to be named, and they did stress at the time, it's the first, but it's not the last. And there had been widely reported that there was this Middle Eastern interest when it comes to Qatari Saudi, I mean, I've even seen reports of that even this morning say, that you can't rule out Saudi private investment as well. There have been also reports, I think, of Dubai, and there'd been reports of obviously all of these American consortiums. Essentially, what we've been told is that, all of those people that bidded for Chelsea during that process that was won by Todd Boehly, all of those other consortiums, they're still interested. They still wanted to buy a club, and because it's United, they'd be willing to pay a little bit more. So this isn't a definite in terms of they're going to be the next owners. This is just the next player on the field, but it's a very strong one, certainly. I think also, a really interesting discussion point on this, Flex, is given what's been happening or what's happened and what's happening now with City and these charges and the allegations, all this kind of stuff. I've seen a bit of pushback in terms of people going, well, we don't want that. We don't want that. That happened, and they've got these sort of state-funded or Middle Eastern ownership and what happens if that was at United? You can't look at that and say that's what you want for the club. And I kind of push back on that because I think that's a bit of a lazy comparison. The reason I push back on it is I say that the reason that City had to do that or did do that, allegedly, is because they had to falsify or inflate their revenue sources because they didn't have them. They didn't have them. Arguably, Manchester United, if Manchester United did that, that'd be stupid because they don't need to do that. Their revenue sources are so high anyway. The fact that United, for the past sort of decade or so, have been spending 250 million per summer without investments from its owners, whilst they've been taking money out the club, is incredible. And we've always said, imagine if people actually put their money into the club. Imagine what would happen there. So I think that's a bit of a lazy comparison in terms of worries by that point. Of course, look, there are other worries and concerns you would have in the same way that there were concerns and worries, and there'll be a discourse and a discussion around the hosting of the World Cup in Qatar. I'm sure those conversations would come back up, but I think for now, what it certainly is just it's another player on the field. It's another person that's put there clearly their what's the phrase? The hat in the ring, is that what they say?
Hat in the ring, yeah, I would say.
I think it's more that, but there'll be more to come. There'll be more to come, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, we saw some reports, obviously, didn't we, over the last few days? Remember, sort of saying about the Glazers, going to leave the debt in the club and stuff like that, and and some people even put there in the comments, sort of saying, 6 billion is a joke when they want to leave it in the state that it's in. Although it's Manchester United, it's a massive football club. It's got amazing potential within the right hands, and they want to cash in. The Glazers want to cash in. We know this. They want as much money for this football club as possible. But I'm not surprised to see there be a bit of pushback on the price. Obviously, just because it's the sale of something that costs loads of money, so bids have to come in, negotiations have to happen. Nobody just comes in and just pays the asking price for stuff like that. There's always negotiations. But also on top of that, I do agree with the people when they say, listen, look how the Glazers have left this football club, and especially if that is true, that they leave the debt where it is. And we spoke about this, Owen, isn't it? It's not technically the Glazers' debt. It's Manchester United's. It was the Glazers' job to get rid of it, which we wanted them to do as healthy owners. But at the end of the day, Malcolm Glazer doesn't. It's not. He hasn't got CTJs on his credit file saying he's in debt. The company he's bought is in debt.
It's Manchester United's debt. That's how
PLC
is. PLC, as Marcel would say, Manchester United Football Club, PLC. No, you're right. It's United's debt, and that's how disgusting it all is. I also, though, when people go, I can't believe they want to leave United with 500 million loan debt.
Why wouldn't they?
I can.
Yeah. Why wouldn't they?
Why are they going to suddenly take the moral high ground throughout all of this? So obviously they'll leave it for that, and there's a reason why the Glazers are selling now, is because they feel now is the time they can get the most money for United. Now is the time where they would have to, if they wanted to stay, put money in. That's why those reports had also come out saying, well, don't rule out a partial investment, because basically they're saying is, ideally, in an ideal world, we would stay and we would keep taking out the dividends.
Exactly. And let someone else put the money in to make it better.
Yeah, we'd love for someone to a pawn in our plan to come in, and they just put the money in, and then that's fine. We don't have to put any money in, but the club makes money and we can take it out. Of course, they would like that. But anyone worth their salt would say, no, I don't want to be involved in that. I don't want to come in and be an additional cash cow to the big cash cow that you got. I don't want the cows having calves. What's going on? So of course not.
I think going back to as well, which you just kind of reminded me of when you said, when Chelsea was for sale and stuff like that. And there was a lot of hats in the ring, basically, people who wanted to buy it. And that is something I can definitely say to you guys. I did have some conversations with people who were trying to do that. In effect, again, not going into too much detail, but I'll be honest. I spoke with some people who spoke about what that looked like and why that didn't happen, which was very interesting. But what I took from the conversation amongst a lot is the intention, the ring in the hat in the ring, like we're talking about. It was there. It was there from these people. So I'm not surprised at all. I know when I got back from Qatar, obviously everyone's saying, "Oh yeah, etc., etc." And at that point, I wasn't about to be on the internet saying, "Oh well, listen, this, that, and the other," because those wasn't the conversations I had about Manchester United. They wasn't. Of course, flippantly, I did say to certain people, "Come on, man, buy Man United," but that was more in jest. I think now that this has happened, and obviously that's why I asked some of the people that I was with in Qatar, and I could find out that update and bring to you. It does marry up as personally being there and having the conversations that I had with the people that I was with, and now asking these questions to those same people, and getting this type of response. As a timeline, it makes sense to me because obviously I was on that journey, but I'm just sharing that with you guys. Again, that doesn't mean that they will 100% buy Manchester United. As I clearly said, they are looking at other clubs. They are looking at Spurs. They are looking at Liverpool. They are looking at Manchester United. But it does marry up. And with the confirmation that they are I was actually really surprised. Well, not really surprised, but it was really good to see actually the rivalry of like Premier League teams they all support. I'm not gonna lie to you, like,
yeah,
there's quite a lot of Chelsea fans in there. That again, I spoke about that Chelsea thing and etc. Huge Chelsea fans. I met a lot of Arsenal fans within the royal family, loads, and I did meet a lot of Man United fans. Like, and they love their Premier League. Like, I'm talking like we were trash talking. Just to let you in, just some of the conversations we're having away from the bids and stuff like that. Just to let you know how much they love their football. Like, we were like trash talking loads. Like, one of the guys that I know quite well from there, massive Chelsea fan. Ever since they've done the whole spending spree with Todd Bowley, and even when we was obviously at the winter break, I was cussing Chelsea to him. I was like, "You lot crap." Like, you lot, and he was like, "I don't know what's happened," and we're a mess, and da-da. And then when he signed João Felix, he sent me like a little thing saying, "We're back." And then obviously they're spending all the money, he's sending me loads of memes, and I'm saying, "All right, well, we'll see." Then when they drew against Fulham, obviously I was back and forth, and but that just gives you an insight. Like, these guys, they are genuine, Premier League fans. And that's not me trying to co-sign that side of the world to say, "Oh, they're going to be good owners, they're going to be bad owners." I'm just telling you the personal experience that I've had with people from that part of the world. And it is interesting to see that now that's transpiring into legitimate interest in buying another Premier League football club, because we know, and I know for a fact anyway, and we know from the press, not just me, that they were interested in buying Chelsea. They
Can
do
I add
want
something
to buy.
to the timeline as well? I'll add something else to the
Yes.
timeline. First of all, we've got nearly 2K watching and about 200 something likes, which is
Boom.
a disgrace to cheat.
Well, that bit's a disgrace to cheat, but the first
second class, fantastic. Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
But be sure to smash the like and the like button. Be sure to subscribe button right hand corner. Just to add a little bit more to the timeline, because you were talking about the timeline sort of matching up and making a bit more sense and all that kind of stuff. Another thing to put in the timeline would be that Avram Glazer, of course, was spotted out in Qatar during the World Cup. Now, rightfully so, people said, "Well, that's because the World Cup was on," all that kind of stuff. But hasn't he subsequently been spotted out there in Qatar post World Cup? Now, that I think that was the picture when it was like, well, that could be anywhere and all that kind of stuff. But there are other aspects to consider too. Not that, and it's important to state too, not that Avram Glazer himself would be leading these negotiations, because I don't think the Glazer family would.
No.
That involves the Rain Group. The Rain Group are leading this, as they lead a lot of the big sporting franchise takeovers. But the point being is that there does feel more to this than just, flippant, media interest. To your point, the interest is very, very real. And again, the timeline is interesting, but it's going to be really interesting to see how this does develop with those kind of conditions that you're kind of talking about, going, well, summer, it might be more for summer, and the price, we have always said time and time again, right, that it's going to go to the highest bidder. The Glazers could care less about the legacy that they leave at United and who's going to be the best owners for the club and who's going to do right by Manchester United fans. They could care less. If one person comes in and they're willing to pay more than this Qatari interest, then the other person will win it. You know, and if they can pay it quicker, if they say we'll give you it tomorrow, they'll be like, wow, actually.
Exactly.
There you go.
Said, so the Glazers don't care about that. Glazers, like if we just go off the track record of what the Glazers have done already at this football club, which is obviously horrendous, like you're saying there, we can't expect them to just all of a sudden now take a moral high ground and start doing right by the club or doing right for the fans or the whole football club. Never gonna happen. They've never done it before. And like I said, like we've always maintained, in which we understand, they are selling up because Manchester United has hit choice point. The choice point is it can't go any further with just draining the resources. You are literally going to start going backwards, even more backwards than you already are. Let's face it, the only saving grace we've got right now is the fact that we've got Erik ten Hag. Imagine we got this appointment wrong, right? So imagine a new manager came in and it was, I don't know, I'm just painting a hypothetical. Say it was Lopetegui, something like that. They just thought he'd be the right man, just for some random reason. I don't know why. They thought, I don't know, Conte would be, or whoever it was, just not Erik ten Hag, yeah? Pochettino, maybe, yeah, exactly. Because at the beginning, I was like, don't care. I think they're both the same. I hold my hands up. I was in that camp of like, I like them both the same. Imagine it was Poch and it went to shit. But you get my point. Whoever it was, imagine it just wasn't Erik ten Hag. And we wasn't in this position. We didn't have this insight and this forecast into what life is going to look like with this good manager, with this summer transfer window behind us, which was really strong, with actually a strong January transfer window, considering where we were. If we didn't have all that and we were still lingering around bloody 7th or 8th, and it was basically a continuation from Ranić, you know, fractious dressing room, style of play still crap, getting beat, you know, not winning games, you know, where would we be? Where would we be? You know, and then, like I said, so couple that with the Glazers now selling at a positive time, when you know, all of that helps the Glazers. You know, obviously, first and foremost, the club over everything, and the club progress over everything. So the fact that the club doing well again and us having a great manager in Erik ten Hag can technically enhance the sale of Manchester United. You can say, oh, that helps the Glazers. Yeah, but it's a double-edged sword, because actually it helps the Glazers, but also it helps Manchester United find owners who are going, actually, there's a bloody good manager there.
There's a project ready.
A real project ready, exactly. Yeah. We just get rid of these guys. And actually, that's one that, you know, when you look at Todd Bowley, the first thing they had to do, even though they didn't do it straight away, was they wanted to get rid of Thomas Tuchel and go in a different direction.
Well, as well, Flex, you talk about the project being ready. If you were really, really savvy and you're looking at the lay of the land right now, you'd say, right, they've got a manager in place. They're going in the right directions. They've got a team that's not a million miles off, actually.
It's not a million miles off.
You look at the overall, just Manchester United, the size, the scope of it, you know, the brand, all that kind of stuff, the global appeal. You go, that's massive too. You look at Old Trafford, you go, needs a bit of work, but that could be massive as well. You also then look at the Premier League just as a whole at the moment. You say, well, Liverpool are a bit off it. Chelsea, they're spending big, but let's see how that one plays out. City, we don't even know if they're going to be in the Premier League or whatever. Them, yeah. You would say to yourself, I mean, tell you what, things are opening up opportunity wise, and if I get this club and I do it right, nobody could touch us again. I mean, it's really like that. And obviously, look, Newcastle, they're going to be where they are as well. But the point being is that there does feel like, doesn't there, like there could be an opportunity on the horizon. And to your point, maybe that does strengthen the Glazers' hand. Whatever. Okay, yeah,
it does, but it strengthens Man United's hand.
Their palms are going to be greased anyway when it comes to all of this. They're going to get billions of dollars for a club they didn't pay that much for, and they've taken money out of. We just got to live with that, unfortunately, and it's shit. But we have to live with it. But at the same time, whatever, there's a potential for something good to happen in the future. Whether it's with this bid or whether it's with another, I don't know. But you could be really looking at this going, phew. I tell you what.
And how many times, and this is back to kind of what we've always said about Man United in terms of any new potential owners, not just Qataris, like you just said, any. How many times have we reflected on the fact that if you think about how much money you need to actually spend at Man United, right? You don't have to come in and do what Chelsea... the owner of who comes in at Man United don't need to come in and spend 400 million every transfer window. 500 million, 300 million.
No, but then they do have to spend like $1 billion on the stadium, $1 billion on the training ground.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. So in the background, that's what I'm saying. So I'm talking about the playing squad. That's my point. Like in terms of the continuing investment, we do spend like, what's our average? 200, 150, 180.
We're in the transfer window
ish. Yeah, I know. Like we had quite a few bad ones.
Around
in it.
two.
It was like that, but as a flat line, what would you say the average was? So maybe someone can work out.
Around 200, I'd say.
Yeah, because we had the shit. We've had some shocking transfer windows. What was the one where we got Cavani and Palestri?
Palestri, Ahmad, Donny. I mean,
Tellez?
that's just and that's in terms of Tellez. That's Tellez. I mean, and just in general, window. the fact that when we like, you joke and you say, Pogba's a Premier League winner, Sanchez is Premier League winner, and Lukaku's Premier League winner, but that also just goes to reflect how bad the transfer window's been. They've all signed as they're all gone at this point,
That as well, and also, I think what it would do in hindsight is make that so where we're saying it's been a bit of scattergun, like we've had some real bad ones where we haven't spent that much, but actually we've had ones like last year where we did spend a lot, or again not against the Glazers' own pocket, but in terms of final money put down, you could say it's significant. Well, let's say well, look, we've spent more than City, haven't we, in that period? We spent, what is it, over
allegedly.
But there was always that argument, isn't it? Remember the argument of Man United and Man City allegedly have spent. Man United spent just above City, like 1 billion on transfers. And look at the two teams and the two successes in the last 10 years. That's always been the thing thrown at Manchester United's doorstep. The fact that we have spent on transfers, we've just spent shockingly on recruitment.
We just spent on transfers. We haven't spent on anything else. That's the problem too.
Exactly. No infrastructure, no stadium, no training ground, etc., etc. But what this would do by having owners who are committed, they don't need to do the Todd Boehly thing. Well, even Todd Boehly won't be able to spend what he's just spent consistently. But that doesn't need to happen. What they can do is stabilize our spending and make it consistent to say there is always 200 to 250, 300 in the kitty every summer as a default. And Man United can, and some of that can come out of Man United's money because, we make a lot ourselves. Like you said, it's if they keep us going in the transfer market by what we make already and what Man United is, which is what we've done under the Glazers because they've never put any money in, that's fine. But then in the background, you put the money into the training complex, you put the money into the stadium, you redevelop the area, you do what you need to do in terms of the infrastructure and just make sure we have a steady flow, back in January, back in summer, consistent. You do, because if you do that to Eric Ten Hag, if you give Eric Ten Hag, because look at the backing he's got now, and that's off this regime. That's with hands tied behind his back in January because he couldn't sign anyone permanent. That's with that type of backing. And look what he managed to find Sabitzer. How's he done that? Like, that's a player that actually we need long-term anyway. Someone like Sabitzer. Do you know what I mean? I was saying that yesterday, wasn't I? I said on Flexing KG show. I said, and this is a bit off topic, I said, I think he's someone we actually need long-term, and I think we'll make him permanent already. Not off of what I saw against against Palace, just off of the type of player that he is, the attributes he has, and if he, obviously it depends on if he can rediscover the form that we know he's capable of at Leipzig. But if that player turns up, we need that type of player. We still need another one in the summer and stuff like that, but we need a player of Sabitzer's ilk in our team. And Ten Hag we wouldn't have got Sabitzer before. I know Ralph Rangnick spoke about that type of player before.
Well, let me dispel that myth. Ralph Rangnick, I think, spoke about every player. True. I mean, because we hear this a lot with Ralph Rangnick, and this isn't like a Ralph Rangnick hate thing or anything like that. It's just
it is, Owen. You don't like him.
I feel like I'll tell you, Ralph. I know. I feel like just when we sign any player, they go, Ralph Rangnick recommended him. I feel like Ralph Rangnick just downloaded a list of football players, went to the Man United board. What about him? And then we go, oh, Ralph, what a lifetime ago that is. But you say that about keeping them. I wouldn't even be surprised if we kept Weghorst. If we just go, you know what, keep him.
Just as an option. Well, an option because clearly we might have to go and buy 2 forwards now. I think, because if you think about it, you keep Weghorst. Well, we'll get to Martial later on in the show. You sell him, you get the big money one, which is our next topic. Actually, we'll talk about the Osimhen Kane thing, and then you probably get another young up and coming, 15, like a Malacia version of a forward. Do you know what I mean? Maybe something like that. Do you know what I mean? So the options are there. But guys, we've spent a lot, obviously, the main chunk of the show, and rightly so, talking about this. If you are just joining us, Qatari United bid incoming. Owen touched on the reports based here in the UK that they are looking at a takeover bid. They are Manchester United fans. It is the Emir of Qatar who is interested in this. And apparently they want to completely blow out of the water anybody else, and they're confident of doing that. I came in, added my little 10 pence in terms of people in Qatar who have spoken to me and said that it's looking more like a summer thing. If it is to happen. 2, the interest is real and concrete. 3, the money being reported by the UK press, i.e. Being worth over 330 billion, is true. And 4, the members of the royal family. There are many members of the royal family who are, in fact, Manchester United fans. And 5th, the price. There is some negotiation and some wiggle room on that 6 billion price being quoted in the press. So that is the latest. I'm sure we will hear more on this. Obviously, we will keep you updated as and when. If we have to go live at the drop of a hat because things are picking up, we will do that. If we have to bring it to you the next day, whatever, we will obviously be on top of this like you would expect us to as a United fan channel. Yeah, I'm just saying what we do. Yeah, we'll be talking about this as more happens. Well, you are a fan channel, Fleck. So yes, yes, you will.
Yes.
So smash a like on the video. We have a grand total of 2,498 people watching.
Round it up. Round it up.
2,500. 2,500 people watching. And talking about rounding up, we have not even rounded up to 500 likes. We're at 495 actually. Oh, there you go. So please, I want to get us to 1,000 people watching live. 1,000 people watching live. 1,000 likes live.
We've already done it. We've already done 1,000 people watching live, Flex.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I thought you meant the likes. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no, that would be. Why not though? Yeah. Why not? Believe in it.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Believe and you can achieve. And just before we move on to the next set of topics, going to get super chats out. Firstly, before the super chat, Daniel Luciano is a new member of the United V Members Club. Big up to you. Remember, you can join Daniel and our amazing community. Get your badges, your emojis, your priority chat. Get your exclusive UV content, your UV raw. Find out behind the scenes what goes on. You won't be failed to be disappointed. I tell you that it is very fun.
I'm glad some of that's behind a paywall, by the way. Some of that's not for internet consumption.
No, very much not. It's not all clean, but yeah, it's very funny. Masood says, thank you for the super chat. Masood said to the moral high ground people, the same Qataris own half of London's real estate, the Shard, Harrods, etc. Why can't they buy Manchester United? One thing I am very big on is not, forcing people to believe left or believe right. What I will say is, having been to that part of the world and spoken to a lot of the people there, conversation is power. And they said to me, I'm not under a rock of knowing that I went there at a really good time at the World Cup where everyone's going to be nice, everyone's going to be hospitable. And I met some real good people, but that isn't necessarily a reflection of what everyday life is like when the World Cup's not on. But what I will say is conversation helps everything. And the people I spoke to said, we've got things to work on in this part of the world, in this country, and dialogue is key. So I'll leave that bit there. I'm not going to, say moral high ground people and you shouldn't do this and you should. Why would you not want owners like this versus why would you not? Let's leave that. But yeah, there you go. And Gnome de Guerre says, if financial fair play rules start getting enforced, doesn't that assure United will be the most valuable club? Good for status-seeking buyer. Big up to UV. I mean, yeah, if you think about, FFP, I feel like Man United would probably be a good example because we know it is a good example because look at us. We're in the mud, not winning, been an awful team. But we generate big revenues. We get big sponsorship, big advertising. We can always prove that we make what we earn.
Yeah, and we spend, and we like I said, we've had these big summer transfer windows with no outside investment from our owners. With also as well, we haven't been a guarantee for the Champions League every season. It's been every other season near enough.
Exactly.
So it's crazy.
Exactly, it really is crazy. So to your point, Gnome de Guerre, I agree. I think if they start getting enforced in that, Man United would be absolutely fine. Famous last words. But yeah, I do think we would be a good example. Lil Yo-Yo says, Fleck, you need to show Owen Busta Rhymes Arab money. Yeah, that's Owen. When you get a chance, type in Busta Rhymes Arab money.
Busta Rhymes.
We getting Arab money. I'm not gonna like be disrespectful and try and sing they sing it, I think, in Arabic, the little chorus bits. It's a song. Yeah. Josh has done it in my ear. We getting Arab money.
Wait a minute.
Owen
Busta Rhymes.
No idea.
Busta Rhymes. Who's he play for?
You know what's worse about what you're doing? This is worse than me with Marvel and shit. Because I'm watching the Marvel things and I'm drawing my own conclusions. You are a disgrace and a cheat.
Is Busta Rhymes? Honestly, is Busta Rhymes the answer to the right-hand side?
And you know what the maddest thing is, though, Owen? You are intelligent and, okay, culturally different. That's fine to say me or
culturally different.
No, like, we are culturally different. Yeah, that's fine. You can say that. That's true. But you know who Busta Rhymes is. I know you do. I know you do. Like, you might not be able to list 5 of his songs, but it's one of famous rappers. You do know some.
It's one of the rare occasions that I do know who the person is. Yes, I do.
All right, this is a bit of trivia. Apart from Arab Money, because we just told you, can you tell me one Busta Rhymes song?
I think because he was actually on a Linkin Park song, so I think he was on that. Was he on Together We Made It? I think that's right.
Oh,
do you know that?
I have to check that.
Did I just volley one back to you? Did I just volley one back to you?
You've given me a cultural appropriation version of Busta Rhymes that I probably wouldn't know. I know the Jay-Z Linkin Park thing, but
it's a Busta Rhymes song featuring Linkin Park.
Okay, there you go. It's
broke my Wi-Fi.
I mean, I thought it was going to go like a bit more traditional, like, you know, put your hands where my eyes could see, or turn it up, or make it clap, or, you know,
all right.
Baby, if you give it to me, I'll give it to you. I know.
And I know. I've heard that.
You know that song.
I've heard that.
You know, you see, you know that song. You know. Yeah. Don't this make it wanna jump? Don't pass the Cavassier. Everybody, tell him now. Pass the Cavassier.
No, I haven't heard that one.
Okay. All right. We're getting asked to move on. And Red Baron with the last super chat says, so is it worth the risk? Also, look at Jenks's message. Owen state Jenks's message. Owen just making names up from Steffi Jenks. I can't find it. But we will go back to that at some stage. Big up Red Baron. Is it worth the risk? What, of having these owners, you mean? Is that what you mean? I don't know. Let me know what you mean. Right, on to the next. The summer striker dilemma.
Yes, this comes from James Ducker from the Telegraph, saying Erik ten Hag is weighing up whether to move for Harry Kane or Victor Osimhen. Old Trafford sources have indicated Osimhen better fits his profile of wanting a more mobile striker who offers pace, strength, pressing, as well as goals. Ten Hag has watched extensive footage of Osimhen since last summer, and while there are elements of the striker's game he is unsure about, and he has had his injury problems, it has been noted that his improvement has continued to gather pace this season. But Ten Hag recognizes Kane offers a unique skill set, creates as well as scores as a hybrid number 9 and number 10, knows the Premier League inside and out, is a strong character, accustomed to dealing with pressure, and has never been dependent on pace. United are also fully conscious of the impact Kane has had on Son Heung-min's game and vice versa at Spurs, and believed he could be a potent foil for Marcus Rashford. Sources have likened the situation of Ten Hag having to choose between Kane and Osimhen to the choice of Sir Alex Ferguson faced when he opted to sign Robin van Persie, while Ferguson was also keen on Robert Lewandowski. I didn't even know that at the time. Ten Hag would be much more confident of getting a more high quality years out of Kane than United managed with Van Persie, but United are debating whether the £100 million price would be better invested in a younger striker with the scope of real growth and resale value. Benjamin Šeško has also been scouted, as he's been considered to be a much earlier stage of his development and not ready for what United need right now as Ten Hag continues his rebuild. Tammy Abraham is thought to have been mooted as one of several fullback options for United if they don't get the respective targets. So there's a lot there too, Flex, about 4 different names. Can you see the dilemma that Ten Hag is facing there, where he's saying, look, Osimhen, younger, Some concerns, but he's developed a lot this season. He's improved a lot this season. Harry Kane, no, you know what you're getting straight away. He knows the Premier League. He's ready. He could maybe enhance someone like Marcus Rashford at the same time. It's a difficult one, isn't it?
It is a difficult one. I know. And actually, there's a lot of really strong opinion, like left or right on this. And I've said it many times before with the Kane thing. I don't get the slander of this Kane thing of like, he's going to be too old, or he keeps getting injured. He has these ankle injuries, and the guy guarantees goals. We just signed a 30-year-old in Casemiro, who's won it all. Obviously, Kane has not won it all. He's won nothing. But as we know, when it's a different case for a goal scorer like that, where we know the reason why he hasn't won it all is not because he's not a good player. It's because Tottenham are shit. Like there's no other way of dressing it up. Like you can say, in the big moments in the finals, has Kane hit it off? Pressure moment against France. The final against Liverpool, he was a bit injured, didn't put it out the bag. Carabao Cup final against City, was it? They lost, and I get that, but the guy plays for Spurs. Do you know what I mean? What that's like expecting Spurs to be like, and this is no disrespect to Spurs and Spurs fans. It's just the truth. Spurs are crap.
It was like when United signed Van Persie from Arsenal. They hadn't won anything in ages. In a long time. Remember that whole time they're going, Wenger's, when's he going to win a trophy again?
And they still haven't won the Premier League since then. And Van Persie come to us and won it for us. So actually, that's a really good comparison, But even more so, though, to be fair, although when we got Van Persie, he was the best striker in the league for the season before we got him and the season we got him. So for them 2 years, he was the best player in the league. But Kane excels that, because if you look at Van Persie's scoring record for Arsenal, he wasn't even really prolific, even with loads of injuries as well. Kane is a different beast, different animal. And I said it before, and some people disagreed, and they still might now. If you're looking at the likes of Benzema and you're looking at Lewandowski, who are strikers that can go into 34, 30. What is Benzema now? 35? 34, 35?
Yeah.
He's on a year by year contract at Real Madrid. And my God, is he still playing at the highest level, and was going to be at the World Cup, just got injured. So for me, if we got Kane, he's worth the money. Why is he worth the money for me? Because he can still give me he can still give us, in my opinion, like Casemiro can give us 3 solid years. And you have to weigh up, what does that cost? What does guaranteed goals cost? Monetary value of getting a guaranteed bagsman. Hardest thing to do in football is score goals. It is. And if you've got someone who scores them at that rate and can give you that with this manager, with what he's building, you're almost looking at the squad and saying it needs a ready-made person now. It needs someone who can come in and score goals. Now, the Victor Osimhen. Well, actually, what do you think of the Kane thing before we move on to Victor Osimhen?
I've said this before. You hated him. You didn't. No, I don't mind. I don't mind either. Honestly, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, if we got Harry Kane and then somehow I'm not be like, oh, we didn't get Victor Osimhen. What are we doing? I'll be like, Harry Kane, like he is a top quality player. I'm concerned because I put a bet with Marcel and I have to wear a David De Gea shirt, which is never going to fit me. And that's just a concern that would live on the internet, to be honest with you. But with Harry Kane, no problem with it. Like you said, I think that it's weird. I think the discussion against him. I can understand the concern of his age and all that kind of stuff. People go, "Oh, English bias." I don't think it is English bias because his goal score record speaks for itself.
There's no bias about it. He's going to be the record. He's going to
break Shearer's record. He's going to break
the record.
He's just passed Spurs' highest goal scorer in their history. And I genuinely feel that any club in the world would have him. Any 100%. Club would. So I don't understand the slander. Osimhen, I can understand the pros for him too, in the sense of fantastic season or fantastic couple of seasons. Napoli playing some of the best football in Europe. He's younger as well, so you do get more value for money there. That's fair. But if we get Harry Kane, I'm really not gonna have an issue with it because I think he'll succeed at United. And people saying, well, but what about the drop-off, Owen? As the report mentions, and as we've said before, he's never been that. Oh, he's on the shoulder, Harry Kane. He's going to sprint past him. He's never been that.
Never been it.
So he will just, if anything, as he gets older, he'll just drop deeper. Like I said, he's almost a number 10 that plays up front anyway. So I don't have too much of an issue with Harry Kane in the same way that if we signed Osimhen, I'd be like, fine, great signing. As long as we get that big name striker that we need, then I'm
it might not even be any of them two, knowing us. We'll probably go for someone that, you know what I mean?
Like, well, that's when I would have a bit of an issue. If we signed Tammy Abraham and we're going, Tammy Abraham, I'd go for Man United. I don't know about that one.
Tammy Abraham or Ivan Toney in the summer.
Even Benjamin Šeško, I'd be like,
it's not the what, like Osimhen and Kane. I don't think anyone can deny that they are the ones. With Osimhen being so young, you can see he's proper. Now, to be fair, you know, you look at what's his face? Can't score. Rubbish.
Darwin Núñez.
Darwin Núñez. I just forgot his name completely there. Look at Darwin Núñez coming off the back of a strong season. He was unbelievable. What was it? Benfica. Who was he at? Benfica, innit?
Yeah.
Was it Porto? No, Benfica.
Yeah.
He was brilliant, scoring goals in the Champions League against Liverpool, actually. Playing really well, looked really sharp, and you go, he looks like the 100 million young kid. He's going to be the next one. Now, I'm not saying that fits Osimhen, but do you know what I mean? Osimhen looks shit hot, 100%. I love the look of him, and I would love him to come. But there is that, you know, people say it's a bigger gamble getting Kane because he's older, etc., etc. What about it's a bigger gamble saying you're taking this kid out of the environment where he's just started to flourish in Serie A and you're bringing him to England? How long is it going to take for him to settle? How long is it going to take to him to adapt to life in the Premier League? Will he hit the same heights? Does it transpire? Basically, him moving from there to here to there to here, would be us seeing the answer to the question of, is he the real deal? Because he's doing it for Napoli in Serie A, and no disrespect to Serie A, I'm not one of these fans that shits on the other leagues and says they're crap and they're all farmers leagues, because they play a lot of good football in them leagues. But we do know that some players struggle coming to the Premier League, and we've just literally seen it with Darwin Núñez. We've just seen it. We saw it with Timo Werner.
Every transfer is a gamble. Every transfer is a gamble. In the same way, look, Fernando Torres, when he went from Liverpool to Chelsea, didn't work out. Andy Carroll went from Newcastle to Liverpool, didn't work out. Some transfers do. Van Persie to United really worked out, won the title. You know, there have been examples that haven't
to Chelsea.
Out. Yeah, exactly. You know, or Lukaku to us. You know, all that kind of stuff.
He scored quite a few goals though, but yeah.
Did it work out?
No.
Case in point. So every transfer is a gamble when it comes to that kind of stuff, right? So again, I feel that I'm not really, honestly, I'm not really that fussed either way. And maybe it might be a bit like the Ten Hag Pochettino situation, whereby we get one of them. Say we do get Harry Kane, and it'd be like, oh, I'll tell you what, hold my hands up. I'll tell you what, that could have been completely different. Because I think Osimhen will go regardless. So say if we got Harry Kane, I think Osimhen could go to Chelsea or something like that. And then he could be really bad. And we'd be like, oh, I'll tell you what, dodged a bullet there. Or vice versa. You don't know. But I think what we need is a high quality striker. I think they're the two. And I think anything less than them is a bit of a drop off, and we'll have to see. But I honestly, I really don't mind.
Yeah, and also what's interesting is that I know you can't obviously hang too much at the Glazers in terms of backing the manager and stuff like that. But one thing we've seen since Erik ten Hag has come here is that he's in control. You know, look at the types of players. All we can go off is the sample size, of the players that we've bought since he's been here. Martinez, driven by Erik ten Hag. Eriksen, driven by Erik ten Hag. Malacia, driven by Erik ten Hag. Casemiro is a bit of a different one. Might have been on the list from before, but obviously approved by Erik ten Hag and speaks highly of him. Who else? Weghorst.
Well, and also, making a mistake with the Casemiro one, though, Flex, is that if Casemiro didn't want it, if ten Hag didn't want Casemiro,
it wouldn't have happened.
It wouldn't have happened, yeah.
Exactly. So that's what my point is going into this. Whoever the one is we end up with, if it's Kane or if it's Osimhen, I think Ten Hag would have wanted them. Don't get me wrong. One might be an A, one might be a B because of the clubs and the valuations and this, that, and the other. Maybe we can't get Kane because maybe Kane, and this, you know, we haven't spoken about this much. Maybe Kane says, do you know what? I'm just going to give up that. Yeah, he might, because we could say, oh, you're a loser for doing that and you're this, you're that. But who are we to tell somebody how to live out their career? You know, if he's happy with saying, I'm just going to be known as the best striker to ever play in the Premier League. Ever. And you know what? I'm a Spurs legend.
And no one's going to be able to touch my Spurs record ever. And if we do happen to win a League Cup when I'm 36, that's enough for me because it was with Spurs,
what I mean?
All that kind of stuff.
If he decides to do that and stays or signs an extension or whatever it may be, then we can't rule that out. And then we might end up having to go for Osimhen, or vice versa, where we end up with Kane because Osimhen was too much money, or Chelsea came in and got him first, or we decided we preferred Kane. Who knows? But what we're saying is that will be led by Erik ten Hag. And one thing that we all agree on as Man United fans right now is believing in Erik, because the decisions that he makes for this football club, the footballing decisions anyway, have all been spot on so far and got us to this position where we believe in the team and what it can achieve in the not too distant future. Smash a like on the video. We're at 743 likes, still at just under 2.5K watching live. Let's get to 1,000 live. Come on, guys. Come on.
Would that be a record for a live morning show? I feel like 1,000 likes would be a record for a live morning show. I think.
Yeah, and I think even 2.5K watching live for a morning show. Well, what's the highest?
Yeah. I feel like definitely 1,000 likes, I think, is a record for a morning show. Right. Definitely.
Let's try and do it. Let's try and do it, guys. I believe in you lot. I believe in the community. And FH did it. Member of United View Members Club for a month, says, pick up both. We got the Qatari money. Durain says, gifted 5 United View memberships. Oh, Durain. I remember when Durain joined the UV membership 5 times. 5 UV membership, sucker. 5
sucker.
One thing I don't mind is the old school, you know what I'm saying, whether it's WCW, like the Nitro, you know what I mean, Monday Night Nitro, whatever it was, or just old school Attitude Era. I'm part of it, Owen. I know the wrestling's gone a different way, and you know about all the new school. Check out Owen's channel, by the way, over 10K now. Oops, sorry. Over 10K. I still need to join you on one of them watch-alongs for one of the late night next. What's the next PPV?
Elimination Chamber is the next one.
Oh, I remember that.
WrestleMania is on the horizon as well.
Yeah, Elimination Chamber.
But what I'm also going to be doing soon is I'm going to be doing these sort of watch-alongs for old matches. So what I might do is
I'm in.
Yeah, I might get you and KG on. They're members exclusives, but I'm going to be doing them. So it could be you, me, KG watching an old Attitude Era match.
Mankind falling through the cell, all of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Getting pedigreed into pins, thumbtacks, nails, whatever it was. Oh my God. Yeah. Just Hardy Boys. Yeah. TLC, that threesome of that was insane. Yeah. Swanton bombs through tables, 3Ds through tables, gores or not a gore, spears through the tables.
Yeah.
It's just what they put the table in the turnbuckle, in it.
Yeah.
Running. Spear. But anyway.
By God. Triple H, you rat bastard.
He killed him. He's killed him. Pedigree. What was it, Jim Ross? Oh my God, puppies.
Oh, Jerry Lawler. Oh, shout out to Jerry Lawler as well. Jerry Lawler, he's had
not well.
Not very well.
Jerry,
shout out Jerry Lawler,
the King, JR Lawler.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yes, different show. But there you go. Oh, just on the 3D, man. You shouldn't try it at home, but we should try it at school instead, which didn't count. We'd just be walking around like playground and that. Someone would just pick someone up, get 3D.
They've changed that now. They've changed that now as well.
Don't try this.
Yeah, they say don't try this at home or at school or anywhere.
Yeah.
Because people like you were looking for loopholes. Didn't say at school, so it doesn't matter. Figure 4.
Mate, we used to have like hardcore matches at break time and lunchtime, and that used to last the whole lunchtime. Everyone just used to follow it. That was wicked. So funny. But that's for your stream. That's for your channel.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, check it out. But big up, where did we go with that? Oh yeah, it started from Durain gifting 5 UV memberships. So thank you, Durain. Red Baron says some players struggle coming to the Premier League. True, but Premier League would not be what it is without foreign players. So I would take the supposed risk. Oh, absolutely. I agree. Take the risk. But it was more of a discussion point there. Let's try and fly through the remaining topics really, really quickly. I think we could probably, the match day one, we could probably, leave. Yeah. But we'll do the Martial injury update anyway. What's going on? What is going on, Owen, actually? This is quite important. What on earth is going on?
In Ten Hag's press conference, the embargoed part, which came out late last night, he was asked about Anthony Martial and specifically what's going on with him, what's wrong with him, because he played, 20 minutes against Forest the other night, looked good, scored, disappears again.
Oh, yeah, he scored. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Ten Hag said he is not always available. No shit. Also, I see the other side of when he is available, and he was never 100% this season, but he has a big impact every time he is available, even when he is at 80, 85, 90%. Anthony Martial, I think, is a player who spends the most hours at Carrington this season to return, to recover, to get back. It is really such a pity for him and us. He is disappointed, and he is not always available like we want him to be. Now, when asked about this new injury, was it a reoccurring one? Ten Hag said, quote, no, every time is in a different area. At the moment, it's in his hip. So that's the problem. And this is, I said to you, I think it was off the air the other day, that would be my concern, is that if it's a reoccurring injury, you go, well, get that fixed, have more surgery or get that fixed. The fact that it's just generally his body breaking down in a different area each time, that's an issue. That's a massive problem. And thank goodness we signed Wout Weghorst. Because
imagine, even if he's not doing that good, just imagine like he's doing just okay. He was unlucky not to score. He forced a save from Guaita, hit the post the game before, scored against Forest. And he's had a couple of other chances where you're like, tell you what, Weghorst probably should have done a bit better there. But he's not been like, oh, wow. But like you said there, Owen, it's not even about that. It's about just it's being able to keep Marcus Rashford where he's thriving the most. It's being able to keep Anthony where he's doing the best, or do you know what I mean? And not have to change too much. Because you've got a body there, you've got someone in Weghorst who can use actually a striker and just actually available. Do you know what I mean? That's the key. Someone who's just actually available. That is all. That is Weghorst has won the Martial comparison by just being available, and that's sad. Really, it's sad because Martial, we wanted to. Eric Ten Hag obviously rated him, wanted to base his team around him, wanted him to be his main forward. And all of a sudden, these injuries that, like I said, like we've said many times on this channel before, by even Martial's standards, they were never like this. I actually feel sorry for him. How is he doing mentally now? Because it's like his body's literally breaking down this season. How must he feel? This is a young guy still. He's like 25, isn't he? 26.
Well, it's interesting. He's older than that, I think, isn't he? He's like 27, something
27,
like that.
Yeah.
But the point being is
should be in the prime. Should be in his prime.
Yeah, he should be in his prime. And I think what's interesting is Ten Hag saying that, this whole time this season, he's been sort of 80, 85, 90%. He's never been 100. And because we didn't have that striking option, every single time he came back or he was ready to play, we went, just got to play him. 45 minutes, play him. 20 minutes, got to play him. Whereas at least now you would say, look, you've got Weghorst there. He's going to play. He's going to play. Let's just take your time with him. Take your time with Martial. Get it right. And the thing is with Weghorst, is that when you're training, if you're Rashford, if you're Anthony, if you're whoever, and you're training with Weghorst in the week, there must be some semblance of comfort knowing the guy that I'm working on these patterns of play here, that I'm building up this chemistry with, he's going to be playing at the weekend. And that's not always the case with Martial. You go, this shape that we're working on today is great.
Exactly.
Is he going to be playing at the weekend? Is he going to be playing next week? How do you build up any chemistry or cohesion there? You can't really. You can't. So look, it's a shame. And there already now have been these rumors, haven't they, about, United basically deciding to sell Martial in the summer. And that can sound very cutthroat and very ruthless. But unfortunately, I think it's probably the right move because you can't have that many almost chances. I think if it was any other player, we'd probably be saying the same thing, wouldn't we? So
absolutely,
it's unfortunate.
Durain, I don't know if Durain has gifted another 5.
It's another 5.
Another 5.
Another 5.
I would do a spin Rooney, but I can't right now. I haven't got a space.
Just spin around in the I don't really have the space.
I'm going to hit the side. I can't spin. I can't really do it, but yeah.
Imagine someone just tuned in now.
I don't know if it's another 5, but if it is, big up to you. Even if it's the same. Another 5.
It's another 5.
And actually, I want to big up some of the people that Durain has gifted them to, which is really, really impressive. Pete Beswick says, Durain, thanks so much, my man. And I'm looking for some more of the people.
Imran, Mehdi, Love.
How are you seeing them? So are you just scrolling down the chat, or is it in the actual?
It's in the chat underneath where it says gifted 5. They will say gifted a membership. Love was gifted a membership by Duran.
Mehdi Rahman. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Brilliant. So to all of you guys who have now joined the UV membership, thanks to Duran. Welcome, and thank you, Durain, for sharing the love. Thank you for sharing. You know, I remember. I think about a month ago. Where you joined as a new member, and then you sent a super chat saying you joined, and now you're out here gifting memberships. So yeah, big up to you. Is it Umar? Omar got one as well. So yeah, big up to everybody. And there you go. Yeah, exactly. We're at nearly 900 likes. Come on, guys.
We can break the record.
We can break the record. We've got gifted super chats going out. We've got new bids coming in from Man United.
Spinneroonies.
We've got Spinneroonies. Like, come on, let's break this record, guys. We need 100 more. Now we need 95 more. 95 more. Come on, we're at 905 likes. And just as we get to the last topic, which is basically match day. How do you think the game's going to go, Owen? Who do you think's going to start? How do you think Eric Ten Hag plays this? Just quickly, actually, on the Jadon Sancho thing, obviously in the embargoed part, he was bigging up Sancho as well.
Yeah.
He said we are. Oh no, not that one. He said, where is? There you go. I think the best moment was how the fans embraced him when he returned against Forest. That reception, it will beckon and it will motivate him to bring even more. The fans like this. Like his game, and he is a brilliant football player. We are happy to have him back because he can contribute with his creativity, speed, and intelligence. He can decide football games, and that is also what we expect from him. He will do just that. Strong words of encouragement from Eric. Also, look at this. We are creating a winning mentality, and we do that with the togetherness we have with the fans. That has to do with commitment and also has to do with the approach of togetherness. But about Sancho and tonight. Sorry, I got excited.
No, I think
I just love Ten Hag, man. Everything he says and does.
I do. Did you see when he was late? Did you see when he was late to the press conference?
Brilliant.
And they were like, he was like, maybe you get fined. He went, no fine. No fine.
You tried to make a story, Simon.
Yeah, Simon. I noticed that the other day. It was I can't remember. I think it was the press conference after the Palace game, and he said something. He went, now, Simon. I went, first name terms, Eric. Look at you.
Eric likes him. Yeah, Eric
he
likes
does.
Him.
He's got a good relationship with the majority of the media, the journalists. He's very personal.
Good relationship with KG.
He does. Oh, he does. He's got a great relationship with KG. You give the thumbs up to as
exactly.
well. He knows.
Recognize us.
Eric knows everyone. Eric knows everyone. But yes, I think we'll win this evening. I think Leeds. I know people can say new manager bounce, no manager to bounce. It's still the same backroom staff. I think that Leeds have done the move to sack Jesse Marsch because they kind of know, to be honest. They're like, next game's Old Trafford. It's a bit of a write-off. We're not very good there anyway. We'll see if we can get someone in for the weekend. Even by then, it's going to be difficult. I think if United play their best game, should get that one done comfortably. Casemiro is going to be a miss, obviously, but we've got players to step in. Sabitzer, that's why he's in there.
That's the sort of game we'd probably get sent off in, actually, Leeds away.
Yeah.
Like it's mental atmosphere. It's probably better.
Exactly. But I'm confident. How about you?
Yes. Definitely confident tonight. I did say in the preview that I thought it would be a completely different game at Ellen Road, which it will be just because they're at home. Even if they haven't got a new manager there, it'll just be a different environment, more tough. But I agree. I think with not much having changed, and I watched their press conference from the caretaker manager. It wasn't Chris Armas, it was the other one because there's a group of them. And he was basically saying, one, I'm definitely not in the running for the main job. Two, there's only so much we can change considering Jesse's only just gone. But obviously, we've got a few new tweaks that we'd like to do and how we'd like to play, but also sticking to a lot of our principles because how much can we train? There's only, I think he said there was like 1 and a bit training sessions or something like that before the game. And he said, obviously, and then he also said, and we're playing against Man United at Old Trafford. Like, basically, it's hard. So I am expecting us to take care of business tonight. And like you said, there's a good point. Even if they do get a new manager and appoint whoever that is on because even I've been looking at who, there's like 3 candidates and like none of them.
I don't think they're close. I don't think they're,
and they're not close. Nothing's imminent, is there? So you're right. Maybe if they appointed someone on the Friday and he was in the stands on the Sunday, maybe. But even that's a push. It's a big push. So it would look like regular Leeds, but still with no manager and the crowd just knowing that would all be about game management. Score the first goal. Panic stations, because also it's more of the same. You can compound more misery if we smash them on Wednesday tonight. Oh, it's tonight. Bloody hell. If we smash them tonight, yeah. If we smash them tonight, then, you know, you could also, you know, compound more misery by beating them again. And, you know, just give Leeds more misery. That's what we want. We don't like Leeds. Do you know what I mean? Alfred said, Flex, bro, we did meet in Doha during the World Cup. Are you going to do your post-match tonight after the Leeds game? Big up, Alfred. Nice to meet you in Doha. I will. I'm going to be at the game. I'm back. Oh, yeah, I'm back. I'm back tonight. Back at Old Trafford. KG's held down the fortress. He's been sacked after 2 games in charge. Breaking news: he's been sacked and sent back to the studio. Nah, listen, KG done a wicked job. It was basically mosh pits outside Old Trafford.
I love it.
Loads of vibes. And you know what? It just shows you what a team we have here at UV. It just shows you. Mina was holding down the match view live in person in KG's absence. Owen's been smashing, doing what he's doing, which is as per usual. Josh is just joshing. Look at the match view crew. DJ's been back smashing it. Marcel's killing it. Haley. Louis back after his birthday. Paolo's doing his thing. Mina's killing it. Cam don't need me anymore for the match. No. Look at him. Look at Cam and Sabitzer. Look like Sabitzer was part of the bloody show. Look at him.
Exactly. Look at him.
So yeah, the whole UV team is smashing it, and you see what KG has done at Carrington. And obviously brilliant. There's another bit that we obviously can't show you guys yet of what we were doing there, but you guys are going to absolutely love it. It just shows you how great the team is, and I'm really proud. So yeah, big up to the whole community. And actually, Durain epitomizes that by, you know, gifting membership.
And pat yourself on the back, Fleck. You know, you're on the other side of the world, still contributing, still getting all the reactions in. You didn't go anywhere in virtual form. Come on.
Exactly.
We're all together in this. Come on.
Apparently, I ain't been seen on the channel in ages. Well,
no,
every day, mate.
Apart from every day. Apart from every day, you know what I mean?
Exactly. But we are here, we are rising, and we are growing. And also, we are at 959 likes.
41 to go.
Come on, man.
Do you want to get some really interesting maths here, Flex? I think there's more than 41 people watching. I think. So
good maths.
If 41 people, now 48, click the like button, and now 43. I'm not going to count every single one.
Do it.
Whoa, actually, it jumped up. 29. I told you there was more. I told you there was 51 people watching, or whatever it was, 41. So all they have to do is click the like button. It's free. It's free.
It's right there. We're going to do it.
Right there. We're crawling towards the finish line.
Come on, guys.
12 to go.
We are literally just staying live right now.
11.
Come on, guys. Come on.
4.
Come on. We've done it, man. Come on. The next one.
The next update, is that going to be the one?
Yes. Well done. We did it. Well done to everybody.
It's a record.
It is a world record fee of likes for United View. And on that note, we can leave you. We have done what we came to do.
United View has broken the record for morning likes on the Morning View. Back to you, Flex.
Can I just give you some context? Yeah, me and Owen was talking about Carve on Sky Sports. And big up to Carve. I always see him in there. Big up Darmesh as well, my guy. But big up Carve Solikov. And it's just so funny because when he reports stuff, he just has this really like assured, slow way of speaking that sometimes rubs people up the wrong way. Some people like it, some people don't, whatever. But it was just really funny of just how he speaks. So yeah, big up Carve if you're watching. And I will have no slander on Darmesh's name in Lingo Star. Darmesh is my guy. Do you know what I mean? And big up Durain for contribution as well. Exactly. Durain, man of the match.
Yes.
Man of the match. Or I don't know if it's a female name, but yeah. Person of the match. Person of the stream. Anyway, guys, you've definitely smashed a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe. All those likes, make sure you've actually remembered to subscribe as well. And it's match day. Today, you're going to get your road trip with me and Marcel. I am back on the road, back up to OT. And we're going to hopefully smash Leeds and have some great scenes outside Old Trafford. More points. 14 wins in a row we're looking for at Old Trafford. Unbelievable. Is it 14 or is it 13? It's 14, isn't it?
I think it might be 14 we're looking for now. Yeah,
I think it's 13 now. So, yeah, 14 wins in a row at Old Trafford we're looking for. Make sure you join KG, Haley, DJ, Who else? Paolo, Louis, all on the match view today as well. And we got an exciting addition to the match view today, a game that you guys can get involved in. Actually, I'll tell you a little bit about it now, just really, really quickly. It's called Circle. Okay, it's called Circle. On the way out, we're going to put in a video description below. We're going to put a link basically to the app where you can join in. You can bet with your friends. It's quite fun. It's quite fun. We'll explain more later. But if you want to get ahead of the curve, ready for the match view, just download the app and take it from there. And we all will be revealed at the beginning of the match view with KG. So yes, big up, guys. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. It's match day. We will see you again later on today with loads more content. Peace.